Okay, let's get our fingers moving today by mapping out some notes on the E string. So we'll start with the open E. Very first fret is an F note. So if you remember, I like to think of the nut as fret 0, okay? So sometimes I imagine that open E string as just being right here. You know, you could place your finger there and the nut is actually sounding it for us. Just kind of like as a little visual aid to see that your first E note is right here. If you were to fret it, there's your E. And we now know that E and F are a half step apart. Okay, so this very next note on fret 1 is our F. Okay, to get to G, we're going to skip over fret 2 and go to 3. That's a G. Okay, our dots are going to help us out because on fret 5 we get an A. And on fret 7 we get a B. Okay, so everything is kind of very nicely lined up. We have open E, fret 1 for F, 3 for G, 5 for A, 7 for B. And remember, B and C, a half step apart. Okay, so right here on fret 8 is going to be our C. We're going to go up to fret 10 to get a D. And then we're done at our octave on fret 12. That's our last E. Okay, so play that with me. Open E, F on fret 1. Good. G on 3. A on 5. B on 7. C on 8. D on 10, and then E on 12. Okay, so really cool. We know the notes on this E string, and now we know the notes on this E string because they're lined up exactly the same. Okay, because the starting letter is the same. So let's go ahead and do these. We've got our low E, open. Fret 1 is an F. That means fret 3 is our G. See the dot there, right? That's where we have our finger for our G chord. That's a G note. Go to fret 5 for A, 7 for B, 8 for C, 10 for D, and 12 for E. Awesome. We're filling them all in. Nice. All right, Malagueña. This is a really fun one to play. Super impressive when you get it up to speed. You know, it's a good one to show people that you know how to play guitar, and you know they'll smile and they'll move their body to it. It's a whole lot of fun. So here's the introduction. It goes like this: open E, fret 1, fret 3, fret 1, and then open. Okay, and we now know these notes: E, F, G, F, E. So I'll play that once and you play it back. Okay, E, F, G, F, E. Now you, E, F, G, F, E. Nice. Now we go on to the B string with the same pattern of frets. Okay, open B, fret 1, 3, 1, open. Okay, we know those notes: B, C, D, C, B. Okay, you play that now. Open, 1, 3, 1, open. Nice. So if you look at my fingers, you can see that anytime I'm playing on fret 1, I'm using finger number 1, okay? And when I go to fret number 3, I'm using finger number 3. All right, this is a really good habit to get into because we want to play this fast. And we'll be able to do that if our fingers can get there quicker, right? So sometimes if you're trying to do this all with one finger, jumping back and forth, it'll be tough. Okay, so use these 2 fingers. All right, we've got this. And then this. And then finally we come down to the low E string, open E, fret 1, fret 3, fret 1, open. Cool, you do that, open E, fret 1, fret 3, fret 1, open. All right, that's the introduction, okay? Okay, now we have a new chord. This is called the E major chord. All right, we know E minor. Okay, this is very close, but we have one note that's different. Let's place our first finger on the first fret of our G string. Okay, and then we'll use finger number 3 on the second fret of the D string, and then finger number 2 on the second fret of the A string. Get up on the tips of your fingers. Okay, get your pinky out of the way. Strum through all 6. Okay, so a fun thing to do when you play a chord for like dramatic effect is to rake the pick through the strings like that. You can do it way back by the bridge. Right? Sounds super dramatic. Like you're about to play the tune. Okay? You'll see that in the music as like a squiggly line. Just drag the pick right through. Okay, cool. So we have the introduction all figured out. Here's the melody. Really important. So we're going to go on fret 2 of the D string and fret 1 of the G string, okay? And I'd encourage you to just leave your fingers down, okay? Because the picking is going to be just these 3 notes, D2, G1, and open B. Okay, so if you can place these fingers where they need to be, it'll free you up to maybe look at your other hand to make sure you're plucking the right strings. Okay, so you can set this one up here and just start at the D string and pick down. Okay, so first bar of the melody and the second bar is just like it. Cool. The second half of the melody, you take these same fingers and jump them over so that finger 2 is on G2 and finger 1 is on first fret of the B string. Okay, and actually I can start calling these letters out now because you know them. So this is an A, this is a C. All right, so this one's a little bit more involved because what we're going to do is we're going to pluck the G string and then the B string. Okay, you can leave finger 2 down, all right, if you like. So go G, B, lift off your first finger to play an open B. Okay, so do that with me. Here, I'll just call out the notes. A, C, B. Okay, then the rest of it is back to A, open G, then your third finger comes down on fret 3 of the D string, which is what note? That's an F. Okay, so we've got A, C, B, A, G, F. Okay, let me play the whole thing for you, and I'm going to stop on that F note, and I'm going to show you kind of what that feels like, or I'm interested in what you think it feels like. So we've got this bit of the melody to start. Jump your fingers over. Now, how's that F make you feel? For me, it feels like it wants to go back down to E. Right? Okay, it feels like it's resolved when it goes to the E. Okay, we'll think about that later. So there's the melody. All right, we'll work that out. The next part is the chord part. Okay, so we come back to the E chord that we learned. All right, so let's put this together again. We've got G1, D2 with our third finger, and A2. Okay, so here's another cool thing, yet another cool thing about the guitar. This makes an E chord, E major, sounds like that. Okay, maybe you've heard this kind of sound before. The very next chord in the chord section of this piece is the same shape, you just slide it. You were here, you just slide it here, okay? And then what you get, because you're still going to play the open strings, is you get this very exotic sounding chord that's just full of tension and drama and all kinds of good stuff. Okay, so we had our E major down here. Go ahead and play that with me. Nice. Slide it. I'm going to say up, because remember this way is up. Slide it up. And then check this chord out. Woo. A lot going on in that chord. If you look at the sheet music, it has a crazy name. It's called F flat 5 over E. Don't worry about that. Just think of the shape and moving it here. That's all you need to worry about. Okay, so you have all this tension in this chord that we relieve when we go back to the E chord. Okay, so E major chord, slide it up, slide it back down. Okay, now we'll add a little strum pattern to this. It's going to go down, down, up, down, up. We'll do that 2 times in a row on the E chord. Just like that. Do that with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Good. Slide it up. Do that strum again. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Okay. Sounds a little strange. Bring it back down to E. It sounds better. Slide it up. Okay, let's do it in time now. So we're in 3/4 time. Okay, so the quarter notes are still counting our beats, but we're going to have 3 beats per measure. All right, so when I count this, it's going to be 2 bars like this. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and. Okay, and then the next 2 bars are like this. Slide it up to this crazy chord. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and. That's what we're doing. Let's try it back and forth. Here's the E. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and up. 2 and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, back down. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and up. 2 and 3, and. Nice. Okay. We're almost there. After that little chord section, we come back down to an E. We rake through the little squiggly line. Okay? And then this is fun. We get to just slam that chord like that. Just strum right through and immediately silence the strings. If you're playing on an electric guitar or you get an amplifier, maybe put some reverb on it when you silence those strings. Whew, cool stuff. Okay, in the sheet music you'll see there's a whole bunch of notes and you'll see a little dot at the very bottom of it. Okay, that's telling you to play this note staccato. Okay, so that means you play it and immediately silence it. All right, you will also see a little like carrot, like triangle looking thing. That means to play this with an accent. You play this with with some attitude. Good? Okay. Now finally, to end the piece, we'll end it as we started it. Okay, this is a pretty common thing to do. Kind of bookends the whole piece of music. So we go back to that introduction. And a big E major chord to finish. Awesome. Big tune, big piece of music, a classic for guitar players, okay? I'm going to go ahead and hit play. So we're going to play this at half speed. So it's going to be 60 beats per minute. So a really good tip, right, when you're learning sort of a difficult piece of music is to work out all the notes first, like we did, okay? So once you have the notes figured out and you feel pretty good about them, try to play the whole thing at half speed. And that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, and then once you can do that, you slowly just ratchet up the tempo with your metronome until you reach your goal. Okay, so I think a good speed for this is going to be 120, okay, which is kind of fast. All right, but once you get it going, anywhere up in 90 or 100 beats per minute is going to sound pretty impressive. Okay, so let's work it out at 60, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, so follow me if you can. I'll give us a 3 count. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Do that again. Chords. Move it up. Back down. Back up. Down. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Nice job. Okay, nice work with Malagueña. So I believe every guitar player needs to know how to play this melody. I had an aunt once that would just bug the heck out of me for not knowing it. But it's so much fun. I mean, just look at all the different versions of this you can find. They're endless. So you can take those 2 little chords, just strum the heck out of them and have a bunch of fun playing that melody. Okay, so I want to show you one more thing that you can do to make this sound even cooler, okay, with the picking hand. And then let's go ahead and write down the new notes that we learned on the E strings, and we'll call it a day. All right, we're finding notes. Let's fill in these E strings. Okay, so fret 1, we have an F. Fret 3, we've got our G. On 5, we have the A. 7's the B. 8, we have C. 10, we have D. And we already put in our E, so that string is good. Come on down to the low E string. They're all lined up the same way. F on 1, G on 3, A on 5, B on 7, C on 8, D on 10, and that's it. Look at this. Awesome. So we just have that little middle section. Okay, so by this time, you're probably figuring out what the pattern is, all right? Basically, unless you're going from B to C or E to F, you have to jump a fret. Okay, that's the pattern, but hold off on filling these in. Okay, I'm going to show you another trick at the end, all right? So, great. Nice work. Okay, when you get the melody of this really solid, try adding in the high E string in between all of those notes, like this. Okay, this is called hybrid picking. You're picking the melody notes with your pick, and you're just playing that E string in between all of them. You get this going fast, it sounds really cool. Okay, another thing I'd encourage you to do with this one is try playing this with your fingers, okay? So instead of playing with the pick, all those melody notes, you play that with your thumb. Okay, then that frees you up to either use your index or your middle or whatever you like for that high E. Okay, really cool and fun technique to develop. So try that out.